any given Tuesday, the cabinet can make us legally equal to our male counterparts.
Tonight, discrimination frustration. Critics call upon politicians to finally fix sexism in the Indian Act.
I thought it was a good idea that I name her after after one of those hockey players who donated who donated 6 organs, and yeah, we wanted to give that honor to him.
Tragic tribute. A witness to the deadly Humboldt Broncos crash pays honor to the victims.
I just thought it was funny because of people like it was a joke on the internet to us, like Ernest Monias.
Native Creative. A Thunder Bay school opens minds and doors through art. And good evening and welcome to APTN National News. I'm Rick Harp. We begin tonight in Ottawa, where calls to put an end to sex discrimination in the Indian Act have only grown louder. It was a problem that was supposed to have been fixed last year under Bill S3. But thanks to some unfinished business between the House and Senate, the compromise needed to pass S3 remains elusive. And with time running out, so it would seem is people's patience. Todd Lamrand explains.
Canada is an outlaw. It is an outlaw with regards to failing to uphold the basic human rights of equality for Indian men and women.
Pam Palmater was one of several leaders asking for an order in council. It would immediately make S3 complete.
Any given Tuesday, the cabinet can make us legally equal to our male counterparts.
S3 was supposed to do away with any lingering discrimination faced by women trying to pass on their status to their children due to marrying non-Indigenous men. The House of Commons, however, wanted 1951 as a cutoff date, meaning women born before that date would still face trouble passing on status.
The fact that we're all here fighting for this makes absolutely no sense when we have a government that says there's no relationship more important than the one with Indigenous peoples, unless they meant only Indigenous men.
The Senate disagreed with the House and put in an amendment getting rid of any cutoff dates. The House then asked for a compromise, where Crown Indigenous Relations under Minister Carolyn Bennett would first consult communities about membership before enacting the amendment.
That they are actually asking if it would be good to eliminate discrimination against Indigenous women or not. You can't consult on that. They should be having conversations about how they're going to handle when that discrimination is removed because it's illegal.
What could they possibly consult on? Is it okay to keep discriminating? Is it okay to just discriminate against some of our women, not all of our women? They don't have the power in law to ask people, is it okay to break the law?
They also said it would be against the law for individual First Nations to create or amend membership codes to deny status. One estimate is that 300,000 people could be reinstated.
That is a potential impact, but we need to deal with these things one step at a time. And the primary step is when they separated membership from status, they created this situation, and those women and children deserve their status. Conversations about membership, that will happen secondary.
Crown Indigenous Relations is expected to deliver a report on its consultations this June. Todd Lamrand, APTN National News, Ottawa.
Still in Ottawa, more trouble for Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who now stands accused of breaking the law. That's according to MP Jane Philpott, who, along with Jody Wilson-Raybould, was kicked out of the Liberal caucus last week by the PM. But according to Philpott, that decision was ultimately not his alone to make.
In other words, on April 2nd, 2019, when I and the member for Vancouver-Granville were expelled by the Prime Minister, the Liberal caucus had 179 members, which means that at least 90 Liberal MPs would have been required to vote in favour of expulsion in a secret ballot. If only 120 MPs showed up to vote, 90 votes in favour of expulsion would still have been required.
Meantime, Philpott continues to enjoy the support of another former Liberal MP, that of Selina Cesar-Chavannes, who says Philpott deserves to be heard regardless of her new status as an independent.
And I think Ms. Philpott has been always very diligent and smart about what she has done. She's had 3 cabinet portfolios, so I think when she raises a question of privilege, it should be seriously considered.
Do you think there's a way back for her into caucus at this point? Or?
You know what? I think both Ms. Philpott and Ms. Jody Wilson-Raybould, and I mean, I would include myself, although I've selectively become an independent, believe in the Liberal values and the foundation of the Liberal Party of Canada. And I think if she's raised this question of privilege, she should be given as much consideration as she has been.
Now, you may recall that Cesar Chavon quit the Liberal caucus last month after she gave an explosive media interview saying that the Liberal leader had yelled at her. Now, in the wake of Philpott's claims that her removal from caucus without a vote of fellow MPs violated her rights, NDP leader Jagmeet Singh called the move unprecedented, using today's question period to demand a public inquiry into the ongoing SNC-Lavalin affair.
The women ministers who spoke up about the truth about interference in criminal prosecution were kicked out for speaking up. Liberals claim that there's nothing to see here. Clearly there is, and Canadians disagree with this government. Why won't this?
For his part, the Prime Minister responded that the Liberal caucus was widely consulted before the removal of Philpott and Wilson-Raybould, and that their removal was in fact the overwhelming desire of caucus. Well, still in politics, it's almost been 3 weeks since the Senate ethics officer recommended that Senator Lynn Beck remove racist letters posted on her website. But as of today, those letters remain. Containing racist comments about Indigenous peoples, the documents remain on her official Senate website. It was also proposed that the senator post a formal apology for the letters and that she take cultural sensitivity training. Neither has yet to happen. Amidst social media calls for the letters to be taken down, it is unclear what steps, if any, are being taken to ensure their removal. Time for a break. When we return, a tribute to the lives lost and the lives saved as a result of the Humboldt Broncos bus tragedy. Please stay tuned. St. John's 4 and snow, Charlottetown cloudy and 1, Kuujjuaq cloudy and -6, Happy Valley Goose Bay some snow and 0, Quebec Chibougamau partly cloudy -5, Saguenay partly sunny 0, North Bay mostly sunny 3 degrees, Sarnia partly cloudy 8, Sioux Lookout mostly sunny 2, Timmins mostly cloudy with some rain -1. Churchill mostly sunny -7, The Pas a sunny +4. Brandon cloudy 2 with some rain, Gimli partly sunny 5. North Battleford cloudy and 10 with a bit of rain, Swift Current a sunny 8 degrees. Stony Rapids rain 4, Meadow Lake rain and 10. And welcome back to APTN National News. A key witness to the crash that killed 16 members of the Humboldt Broncos hockey team a year ago last week is now playing a special part in the commemoration. Kelsey Fiddler is a member of the Red Earth First Nation in Saskatchewan. Pregnant at the time of the crash, today the mother of a baby girl hopes to bring some closure to those most affected. Priscilla Wolf has more.
Kelsey Fiddler and her 2 sons witnessed the horrific Humboldt Broncos bus crash a year ago.
We were coming from Melfort that day. I had seen traffic and I seen the Charlie's Charger coming from Tisdale area, but I didn't pay too much attention, like straight from me, and I stopped at the corner there, the 4-way, and I was waiting for traffic to pass. And then all of a sudden I see this semi come towards at us, and I was wondering why he was coming, and he could have seen the vehicles come, and then all of a sudden It just happened so fast.
At the time, Fiddler was pregnant with her daughter, Logan, who is now 10 months old. She was named after one of the players killed in the crash, Logan Boulet. She wanted to name her girl after Logan Boulet because he signed an organ donor card. Because of him, the lives of 6 people were saved.
I thought it was a good idea that I name her after after one of those hockey players who donated who donated 6 organs, and yeah, we wanted to give that honor to him.
Fiddler contacted his parents to ask for permission to name her daughter after their son. Fiddler wanted to mark the 1-year anniversary of the crash with some of her own culture at the Oasis Community Center in Nipawin.
For everyone to heal and to show our support to the Bronco families and the community of Humboldt, and that to show that we all care and that we are here for them and that we continue to pray for them.
She asked Bradley Ironstar to sing an honor song.
Creator gave us all our different cultures and traditions. And this is just our way of healing and overcoming, and to be able to be happy and deal with any kind of issues or problems.
It took at least a month for Kelsey and her family to drive near this intersection or the memorial, but it was unavoidable since they live nearby. Priscilla Wolf, APTN National News, near Nipawin, Saskatchewan.
For students at Dennis Franklin Cromartie High School in Thunder Bay, art is not only a way to express themselves, it's a path to following and supporting their dreams. With more, here's APTN's Willow Fiddler.
Grade 11 student Carly Mikas has been drawing since she was a kid.
Because my sister used to always draw people, and I wanted to be like that, so I started drawing.
This is her second year in the art program at Dennis Franklin Cromartie High School. Art teacher Greg Chomet says the students usually paint self-portraits, but this year he challenged them to draw a portrait of a celebrity instead.
If you look along here, they're all different celebrities, and we've got some contemporary ones like Lady Gaga. We've got some easily recognizable guys like Bob Marley, and we've got Ernest Monias.
Affectionately known as the King of the North, singer Ernest Monias is a household name in communities like Deer Lake, where Mikas is from. You may have also seen him in memes online.
I just thought they would think it was funny because of people like it was a joke on the internet to us, like Ernest Monias. So I chose to draw him.
But jokes aside, Mikas says drawing Monias was a valuable experience.
I realized that I can draw people because when I do draw in like my little sketchbooks, I get unmotivated because they don't look good and I don't like them. But when I drew that big portrait, I really liked it. So it made me realize that I can be good at drawing people.
In fact, she is so good that it won her an award at the Thunder Bay Art Gallery, where a collection of student artwork is on display. It's the 4th year the Art Gallery has hosted a DFC art exhibition. Chomet says it's an opportunity for the community to show support.
What we're trying to do is just to bring them together and showcase the great things that they're doing and encourage more to happen, and just let Indigenous people know that they're welcome and invited in our city. In their city.
Mikas says she never thought her art would get to hang in a gallery with artists like Norvell Morisseau and Christy Belcourt.
Makes me feel like I am an artist and I can become an artist, because ever since I was a child, it's just been my dream to become one.
Mikas says she hopes to attend the Ontario College of Arts and Design after high school. Willow Fiddler, APTN National News, Thunder Bay.
To Quebec now, where the Huron-Wendat Nation, located near Quebec City, has tried for years to negotiate the return of their ancestral lands. Well, it now appears that day may soon be at hand. Sophie Claude Miller explains.
Since 2014, the Huron-Wendat community of Wendake in Quebec has been negotiating with the City of Quebec and the provincial government to retrieve lands like this one. So the agreement that they have is that by paying over $23,000, which is worth the taxes for this, it will now belong to them.
The main issue right now that we have to deal with, is the land, the territory. We are pushed and pushed away, the more and more by the federal, provincial, municipal, all kinds of governments that sometimes they don't really care about us, about our lands, about our ways of life, about in fact, our culture and customs and traditions. The Huron-Wendat Nation, our territory is called Neowanseo. I know about my territory, and I know every mountain, lakes, and everything. And I want to be able to feel that I'm the landlord. I feel to feel that this land belongs to me. That I'm not just renting something to the newcomer. We've built an arena, a community center, because the other one was too small. But we're like a bunch of beavers, and in fact, this is who we are, this is our totem, the beavers, and we work very hard, we work in team. We don't give up. We refuse to be seen or looked at as a bunch of victims. I mean, we're warriors, we're fighters, and we stand on our feet, and we aim at self-determination as a nation, and we carry a heavy load, of responsibilities, and we need to be together, and we need to be respected, and we need to respect other people. So we need to coexist correctly, but we need to stand our ground, and that's what we do.
It is quite rare to see an Indigenous community being able to expand their territory like this, which means that for communities like Wendake, it is possible to negotiate with their neighbors to retrieve what once belonged to them. Sophie Claude Miller, APTN National News, Wendake, Quebec.
Time for another pause. When APTN National News returns, a profile of a Mohawk legend on and off the wrestling mat. Stay tuned. High level rain and 14 degrees. Rain in Fort McMurray as well, 13. Red Deer, a rainy 10 degrees. Lethbridge, mostly sunny and 10. Campbell River, a rainy 11 degrees, just like Vancouver. Dease Lake, sunny and cloudy, 5 degrees. Smithers, also a mix of sun and cloud, 9. Rock River, some rain, -3. Watson Lake, bit of sun and cloud, 7. Wahti, sunny and cloudy, 5 degrees. Trout Lake, a sunny 13. Colville Lake, a rainy -4. Fort McPherson, a mix of sun and cloud, -6. Repulse Bay, mostly sunny, -8. Cambridge Bay, mostly rainy, -11. Arctic Bay, rainy, -9. Iqaluit, sunny, -12. And welcome back. We begin this block with a pop quiz. Is respected Mohawk elder Billy Two Rivers famous for his time as A, a wrestler, B, a chief during the Oka crisis, C, an actor, or D, someone who once threatened to sue singer Van Morrison? Well, here were the answer. APTN's Tom Fenario.
Over here, this is one of the outfits that I wore when I was wrestling.
The name Billy Two Rivers is famous the world over, mainly for longtime wrestling fans who remember his 24 years in the ring.
So you never played a bad guy?
No.
Okay.
I didn't have a choice. They loved me.
Yeah.
No.
Two Rivers made his debut in 1953 after being trained by fellow Mohawk wrestler Don Eagle. He combined a fierce wrestling style with colorful regalia to travel the world. The United Kingdom, Japan, the United States all came out to cheer him on. Well, most of them. Right before a match in Hanover, Germany, a spectator criticized Two Rivers for wearing an inauthentic, pan-indigenous outfit. Two Rivers went on to explain that even though he's Mohawk, he was proud to wear boots made by the Huron-Wendat and a headdress gifted to him by the Blood Tribe in Alberta.
He said, "What is this?" He says, "You're not." He says, "You're not Indian. What are you?" I said, "Yeah, I'm Indian. I'm a native North American Indian." He says, "Well, what are you dressed like this for?" I says, "Because I'm an ambassador and I represent the people across the country."
But being an ambassador wasn't enough to make him feel safe when it came to wrestling in places like Belfast during the late 60s.
At night, the soldiers would come out with darkened faces. They'd stand in a corner not to be seen, waiting for the rebels or something. And the greatest concern I had is that they're going to put a bomb underneath the ring or something, you know.
That wouldn't be the last time in his life Two Rivers would end up in a militarized zone.
Got a call about 5:30, almost 6 o'clock, and it was Joe, and he says, "Billy," he says, "the bridge is blocked." I said, "What?" He says, "Yeah," he says, "the Mercier Bridge is blocked."
After ending his wrestling career in the mid-70s, Two Rivers became a council chief for the Mohawk Council of Kahnawake. He was among the leadership group charged with brokering peace after Kahnawake barricaded the Mercier Bridge in support of Kanesatake during the Yoka crisis. And despite having traveled the world over, the summer of '90 was witness to the worst act of racism he ever saw, right next door to his own community in Montreal. In what's become known as the Roxit Whiskey Trench Incident, a convoy of Mohawk women, children, and elders leaving Kahnawake were stoned in their cars.
The fellows going around to the different businesses that were there and says, "Come on out and let's stop these Indians, these people." They didn't care.
After 20 years on council, Two Rivers retired in 1998. Since then, he's done acting in films and shows like Mohawk Girls, had a photo of himself used on the cover of a Van Morrison album, first without his permission before they settled out of court, and served as an elder for the Assembly of First Nations. But most of all, Two Rivers is proud of his 9 grandchildren, many of whom speak Kanien'kehá:ka, the Mohawk language, with him. It also appears that they have inherited his athleticism.
I just want to point out to you, we have a picture on there from a number of pictures where my granddaughter won her championship for Greater Montreal, I believe.
To say that Two Rivers has lived a rich life is to state the obvious, and to assume that he doesn't have at least a few more chapters would likely be a mistake.
I don't know how much longer I'll be in this world over here. I'm trying to pass everything that I know on to the next generation's job.
Tom Fenario, APTN National News, Kahnawake, Mohawk Territory.
There you go, true living legend. Well, that's it for APTN National News this Tuesday, April 9th. Be sure to tune in tomorrow at the same time when we'll do it all again. I'm Rick Harp. Up next, my good buddy Tim Fontaine brings us the best in pan-Indigenous humor on the Laughing Drum. Have a good night, everyone.